did you watch anything that you wanted to talk about?
I took a little trip to Minnesota, where I'm from, to see my parents, and they live in Two Harbors, which is very up north Minnesota, and it's very scenic, it's very beautiful, it's right on Lake Superior. It's very much a destination of anyone who like lives in the Twin Cities. Like people that live in the cities always go up north to their cabins for the summer, all that. But anyway, I was like driving the coast to Lake Superior with them, and we got to this location where I did not know this until my dad told me when we were up there, is where they filmed the final cliff scene in The Good Son. So The Good Son from that 90s movie with Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin. And so I had to go ahead and I rewatched that because I remember that traumatizing me deeply as a child. And then I remember why, because it's very, very fucked up. And Macaulay Culkin kills it though. Like you think, oh, here's that cute kid from Home Alone. And you're like, what the fuck?
Wait, let's just go over quick. And I think I just want to know like where in his. I'll probably just cut all this stuff out of me talking. That's what I want to know. I think Home Alone is his first one, but I just want to know like how far after Home Alone did he do it? And it's just like I could just imagine him like in the early 90s being like, I need range, like I need a fucking. I'm no longer fucking, Kevin McAllister for fucking. I'm the fucking bad boy now.
And he is.
Okay, 3 years after Home Alone, but in that span, like he had done a shit ton of.
So he hadn't done the second one yet, though. No, he hadn't done Home Alone 2. No, he had. He'd done both.
Home Alone 2 came out the year before. Yeah.
Oh. So he's on his peak though, right? Like kid's a star. So that's probably why many people are like, oh, we got to go check out this movie. And obviously, Elijah Wood too has become quite the star as well. But yeah, I of course wanted to see it just because like I was just at that cliff and I was like, oh, I gotta like and see the cliff scene and like how they shot it. And there's something about winter in Minnesota and it's just eerie. I don't know why. It's just like, I don't know, it's because everything's dead and there's snow everywhere. And so being up there on the cliffs during summer was interesting because it was like just beautiful. Like it's just like stunning. Like it's not what you expect. Like, oh my God, it's gorgeous up here. And then to watch the quite opposite of that when they're filming it in the winter, it was like, oof. But yeah, that movie, I think it is a good movie, but I have like no interest in like ever watching it again now.
Wait, but all right, so let's go back to why did it mess you up so much, like the rewatch? It has some pretty, like there is a highway scene, right, where he throws a rock.
I think they're like, it starts off really like innocently, like they are like chucking pebbles whatever off of it, but then he ends up throwing a like this padded up like almost like a figure, like a human figure, but it's just like pillows and stuff and like garbage bags. Throws it over this bridge onto oncoming traffic, so people driving think someone's committing suicide. Yes, I know. I'm like, oh, it's fucked me up as a kid. It fucked me up again.
Like I don't even remember. I remember watching and I remember that he does some fucked. And I remember the ending scene where Macaulay Culkin just like, I'm slipping. You need to grab my hand.
Help me.
A real Sophie's Choice. Like at the end of the fucking movie.
And then like she's like, well, I've made my choice and it's not you.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up too, actually. Now that I think about it, like,
fucked up.
Yeah, way to kill off your villain when your villain is like
children
13. Yeah, rough. Yeah, explain that to the cops.
Yeah, when you're like, but he was a terrible kid, and you're like, well, doesn't mean he shouldn't be murdered by any means.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure the law is gonna be like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Ma'am, it doesn't matter. Could you have saved him? I didn't feel like it.
Yeah, no, nobody's gonna, but yeah, no. They're gonna have to fake that kid's death, be like, oh, he must have fallen off. Like,
I mean, given those cliffs, you absolutely could. You could be like, slipped. Look how dangerous it is up here. It is. There's no fence. It's one of those old school things where I mean, it's a popular destination. People go up there to hike and all that stuff like that. And it's huge for rock climbers, but there's no fence. There's nothing. You're just up there.
Is it a national park?
It's not necessarily a national park, but it's something you can just like pull off to the side of the road and you like drive up this like really tiny, excuse me, windy road that's like one car at a time. And like at the top, there is like a small parking lot because people go up there, but it's not like a huge like thing. There's not like tons and tons of people all the time. But yeah, you just walk around and it's really cool and it's interesting and it's beautiful, but there's no fence. There's nothing like mysterious things can happen up there for sure.
Okay.
Like you just fall off the side of the cliff.
Yeah, I'm surprised how many like national parks are kind of like that. Like there's a I think we have a Shark Alley, not to be confused with Alligator Alley or Alligator Alcatraz, but but it is like a but it is a big like national park that's like it's made for you to it's a paved road for you to be able to hike through a part of the Everglades or hike or bike, but like you can just walk off the side of walk off that paved road, walk into that grass, walk into that swamp. I mean, the alligators are on the edges and they tell you to be careful all the time, and I got video of like as I was biking along, like they're just hanging out. And when it rains, those paved roads are like completely flooded, and they don't allow you. They're not supposed to allow you in the park. But like, yeah, just like those national beaches, yeah, no fences in nature. They were trying
There's
to
no
get.
fences in nature. There you go. That's
That's what we're
and
taking
it's
from
much
that one.
not to like digress completely here, but it was like very like just brought or reminded me of you sent me that video the other day. Like it was kind of about the descent where it was like all of these like marked on a map in the United States where people have
Come
gone
on,
missing. Have
tell
gone
me that wasn't
missing.
so appropriate.
And I know, gone missing in the United States in national parks. And then there was like where it was showing all the cave systems were in the United States. And you're just like, well, what do you think happened to these people?
I mean, and I mean that was a really good conclusion, like that lady put together, and it's just like some of those cases where somebody like walks behind a bush and just fucking disappears. Like fuck, can't even imagine.
So be careful when you are out adventuring in nature. It's beautiful to get out in nature, but just be careful because nature has no fences.
Because love it, I love it. The
What about you? What have
guys,
you been watching?
let's talk about Dexter Resurrection.
Ooh,
Have you been watching? You're not caught up yet, are
no,
you?
I'm not. But you
Uh,
can talk about it. That is fine. You know I'm gonna watch it.
that's okay.
Doesn't matter.
That's okay. There's nothing really to give away yet. We're all If you guys haven't been watching Dexter Resurrection, it's very fun. I'm very surprised how I am already just kind of in it. If you remember, Dexter in the aughts was like the biggest thing on Showtime. I remember ads everywhere, and it was just like what you were watching that week. Come, I guess, whatever, Sunday or Friday night or whatever. And they're just giving you more Dexter. So it's like very surprised that there was a Dexter filled hole that we needed filled. And it is working. And we're only on episode 4, and we're just back in it. It is just maybe it's all we needed. We just needed like a good long hiatus, and we were just willing to give it like another go around. And episode 4 is where it really starts to pick up, and it's just that thing where we have special guests and they're just acting their ass off. And I can't wait to see where it kind of goes. I hope it doesn't let me down, but I think they're going to try to like go a few more seasons already, is from what I heard or what the rumors are in the internet. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. I love to hear that the fact that you just said it's like filling this hole that we didn't know we needed. Like we kind of thought that, hey, we've heard from Dexter, right? But everyone's still out here rallying behind Dexter and how much we've loved it. And Michael C. Hall is like, you got it, guys. I'm back.
Dude, so good, so fun. And like I said, I don't even think we've gotten to the good stuff yet. Like I really don't. The only thing is like, I'm not a big fan of. I just don't fucking like Angel. I'm so tired of Angel.
I knew you were gonna say that. You're just like, I'm just so tired of this guy.
And they're filming in location in New York. It looks like, at least for this season for sure. Like you can't fake some of those backgrounds. Like that's legit, and it's not B-roll like they would do a lot. Like, no, these are the actors in Central Park. These are the actors in Times Square. Like, you're like, oh shit, okay, not bad. Yeah, I don't even want to even get, like, even though if you watch the trailer, you know exactly what's going on. Super, super fun. Just, you know, yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I think they learned their lessons from their past, and they're just sticking to the formula. And I think Dexter really picked off when they had those special guests just for fun, and you kind of just forget about fucking Michael C. Hall for a little while. You just want to see these other characters. I know I do for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna like it. All right, another one we got. Guys, little point of contention. I think Ghost is a fucking horror movie, even though people call it a dark romance fantasy. What is more horrific than you dying, being in the afterlife, and watching your best friend mac on your girl? Is fucking awful. I recently rewatched Ghost for the kick of it, and fucking Patrick Swayze's the fucking shit. Demi Moore doesn't do a whole lot, if I remember correctly. Like I was like, oh, she was like a big part of this movie. She just kind of hangs out for. I mean, that could be my opinion. This is the way I saw it. But yeah, being dead and watch your best friend trying to get with your girl is fucking awful. And it gets a little fantastical with, you know, once we get to Whoopi Goldberg's character. I think her name was Ed. I totally forgot. I was gonna have it right here. But there are some really, really graphic scenes. They have some really horrific moments, is why it leads me more towards it is very much in the horror genre. First of all, we're talking about being murdered in the streets, right? Being a ghost.
That's spooky alone.
That's not to mention that you come across other ghosts, like the gentleman in the subway who is obviously disturbed. He's a great character, and he's only in the movie for a little bit. Then we come across our fucking hell demons, who, if you don't live a fucking great life, come and reclaim your soul when you pass away. And that is some of the fucking scariest shit. Who are just great way they approach it. They're just fucking dark shadows that come out of nowhere and then just pull you into the darkness, and that is that. Fucking, I think is fucking brilliant.
Just done.
And not to mention, with our best friend Carl, who dies at the end of the movie when he gets his comeuppance. Oh, not to mention that your best friend's also trying to kill your woman, you know, or your partner, and you can't do anything about it because you're a fucking ghost. Even though in this fantastical world, Patrick Swayze has powers and he can fucking push force everything. Essentially, he's a fucking Jedi.
Oh, I was gonna say he's a Jedi.
That's the way it kind of turns out. It turns out that Patrick Swayze is kind of a fucking Jedi, and the subway ghost, kind of played by, it's just called Subway Ghost. I nailed it. His character is called Subway Ghost.
He's the Subway Ghost.
Yeah, the great character actor Vincent Schiavelli. He basically teaches him how to use anger and use emotion to be able to push things around. So Patrick Swayze becomes, you know, a fucking Jedi from the afterlife, and is able to save Demi Moore, for lack of a better term. But when Carl gets it at the end of the movie, that is a awesome horrific scene. We only get a little bit of gore, and he gets impaled by a window, and it is graphic and it is spectacular because blood glows. He gets impaled by a very sharp window, and they look like teeth, and blood goes all over the window, just like in great Dexter fashion, splattered everywhere. Yeah.
Nice.
That's my 2 cents on the Ghost.
Man,
Ghost,
I need to revisit Ghost. It's been years.
It holds up. I think it's pretty good. Yeah. I think that's it for stuff I've watched recently. Yeah. All right, we can go into our Little Otik episode.
Otik, yeah.
We've made a wrong turn, and Courtney has a baby that looks like a stump.
I'm gonna go like, okay, no, go.
No, what would you want to say? We've made a wrong.
I thought you were gonna go the route of like, she found a stump and it's like making it her baby or something.
We've made a wrong turn, and we are in a claymation nightmare. I like that one.
That was good.
Not bad. All right. Hey guys, we are welcome to the Wrong Turn podcast. We are talking today Little Otik by Jan Svakmeyer, if I pronounced that correctly. A fucking Czech legend, actually. So I'm actually really kind of excited to talk about this movie, mostly because of the director.
He,
Coincidentally, I had no idea this movie existed, and I had actually seen a lot of this guy's work,
he
and it
is
just kind of worked out that way.
out there for sure.
Yeah.
Funny enough, this was my first film by his. And then once I started talking about it, like on TikTok with our fans and everyone else, they were the ones that were like, you need to check out his other stuff. Like, it's incredible.
You've actually might seen there's I think Dimensions of Dialogue, if I remember correctly, if that's the title. Let's see here. Yeah, Dimensions of Dialogue, 1982. It is a very actually like it's a bunch of short films and claymation. I think that's one of his most famous ones that everybody's probably seen it and not realized it. It's a lot of the two talking heads
Oh,
that are
yeah.
claymation, and then like a toothbrush comes out or like a can opener comes out of one of the mouths, and they're just like going back and forth back until it's a big old mess. Like I've seen a lot of his work coincidentally, like I think in my like early college years, early Netflix days when we can just like watch whatever, like order a DVD, and we had coincidentally ordered, my roommate had ordered a lot of his things. So we think we started out with Dimensions of Dialogue and we worked our way into Alice, maybe under the influence, you know. And
Yeah.
then I think eventually I had seen Faust, his version of Faust. And I think Dimensions of Dialogue is mostly all claymation. His version of Alice in Wonderland is like a mix, a very heavy mix of
Yeah.
claymation animation and live acting. And then Faust is similar.
His
And
version
then,
of
but
Alice in Wonderland is phenomenal, in my
I think
opinion.
it's famous. I think, yeah, I think it's really well known for it. I had no idea. Actually, I think I'd even seen it before. I think my sister showed it to me when I was much younger. And I just had no idea. Um, this is the kind of wave this guy is making. He's been making movies for a
Yeah.
very long time. Guy's 90.
Woo!
Yeah. Still around. Congratulations to
Still
him.
around, still killing it, still making
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the way he, man, yeah, like his claymation and the style in which he does it always makes it very unraveling and unsettling. And it's done so well. Like, I rewatched this movie again just this morning, and I think it's funny. I think I sent you the one with Spanish subtitles, and I was like, well, luckily Edgar speaks Spanish because I,
Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't great though. It wasn't great. So we can go over the plot of this movie, and you can explain it to me a little bit better because
okay,
like
because I was
my
like,
Spanish reading is
oh,
pretty good, but like it's also a long movie. It's two
yes,
hours long.
it's 2 hours long, and it maybe that's the only critique there is like it probably didn't have to be that long. But yeah, why don't you go over the plot for us, please?
A childless couple passes off an anthropomorphized street chump as their baby, but things get out of hand when the monstrosity comes to life and demands to be fed. In a nutshell, that was IMDb. That's pretty spot on. It is based off of a folklore or
Hmm.
a
A
fairy
Czech
tale
folklore?
that,
Yeah.
what was it called?
No, a Czech folklore. I
Oh, a
believe
Czech
it's like,
folklore.
yeah, yeah.
This folklore is it's very much a similar thing. A couple cannot have a child, so the farmer, he pulls out a tree stump and he fashions it into a child of sorts and brings it home to the mother, and she kind of nurses it first as for fun, and then all of a sudden it does become sort of a real boy and or a real child, and it's just kind of has this insatiable hunger. And in the folklore, like it's not called Little Otik in the story, or in the fairy tale, but like the tree stump just kind of like starts eating and eats the neighbors, and then like eats the countryside and becomes like this giant monster before somebody kind of like does something. Not, but I was really surprised that this movie's only in like the year 2000. This it like
It looks
the film
older.
grain makes it, yeah, the film grain makes it look older and it looks a little dated, but the claymation and the integration of claymation, and like I think that's just a tribute to Slackfire's like artistry. Like it is integrated super well in some of those scenes. Like it looks flawless between the acting and the way some of those tree stumps move and some of those points. Yeah, I was just like, I was kind of blown away. But it is very sparing. Like some of his other movies are heavy on the claymation and animation and everything, and this was kind of more like a movie with a little bit of claymation.
Yeah.
So
Really
yeah,
only really only the tree, the boy. the little Otik, whatever
Yeah.
how to pronounce his name, was really only a lot of the claymation, other than like little spots of like the older man, the pedophile. I can't remember what his name is. There was bits with him as well, but truly integrated really well.
Yeah, for him having like a long career in claymation, I was kind of really surprised.
Works so well. I think that's why it was so unsettling. Just only having the tree be so unruly, and it fit well with his story.
And apparently like this, yeah, I guess maybe you wanted to focus more on the story and like the characters. I'm trying to see if the old man or the pedophile had a name or not, but
I'm sure
I'm
he
not really
did.
seeing much. The
But I only remember him as a pedophile.
Yeah, that was at first I was just like, "Oh, is that really what's going on here?" I'm like, "Oh, it is." But this has like it's like kind of interesting how this has like so much horror movie tropes without I it not feeling like a horror movie.
Correct.
It was like because you got the this feels like a setup we've seen in like a bunch of movies before. You know, there's a creature, a pet, or a kid, you know, and then like the parents have to feed it, and then all of a sudden all the neighbors go missing or whatnot, or they just keep feeding until it gets out of control. And I was just
And
like,
there's
but it
always
didn't feel like a horror movie. Still,
but no, go ahead.
sorry, it didn't. Yeah, it just didn't feel like it didn't feel like that sort of like nitty gritty that you get or that grit you get with a horror movie where you're like, oh no, this is horrific. You're like, no, they're just feeding the kid, or like just these characters just trying to get by, you know. Or it was more of like a little bit lighthearted because the way
Mhm.
he portrayed, you know, the neighbors and the characters, except for the pedophile. Ah, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. No, I was just gonna say that yeah, there is, because there's no blood. Like, I mean, there's some scenes with like, carcass bones kind of things, but there isn't like blood and gore to it. So you're right. There is surprisingly a heartwarming feeling to this. And then there's always that one character, for instance, in this movie, it's the little girl who the whole time knows. The whole time she's like, this is sus. Like, this is
Oh,
suspicious.
Betska.
Yeah. Um, and I feel like we've talked about this before, or at least we've made the joke, or there's memes, but it's like, what's the real horror? The grief. The grief. Like,
It's not bad.
because that's what this couple is going through. It starts off with her finding out that she's never going to be able to have a baby, and so she's going through a lot, like mentally. And that's basically what happens. And the husband even knows this. Like, he's trying, because he's also grieving. He's wants a child just as much. And he's thinking, like, I'm helping my wife by giving her this stump because I thought it looked like a baby. I thought it was a cute gift. And then she takes it to level 10 and then level
Fuck it.
20 and then level 30. And the whole time he's like, you have to stop now. Like, he says it multiple. He's like, we can't keep doing this. He's like, we're lying to the neighbor. Like, but he goes along with it because he doesn't know how to comfort his wife who's losing her mind over this.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, that's yeah. And then it done for the first I want to say 10, 15 minutes of the movie, it is almost silent where like you were mourning because they can't have the child and there is no dialogue. And I was like, oh, this is a Speckmeyer movie. Like there might not be any dialogue whatsoever. But then they start talking into it. Like, oh, okay. Like, okay. But yeah, you're right. It is mourning. They can have a child. It is traumatic. And I remember, yeah, there was a time where Ming didn't know if she could have a kid, and like having that sort of agency taken away, and like you think like, what do you do in that scenario? And yeah, and in this case, the mom, Brenzna. These are
Friends,
Czech
no.
names. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We're I'm gonna butcher all of them, except for Carl. Who
we got
uh,
Carl.
yeah, like, dude, 100%. She loses it. She loses it, and she just wants something to love. Unfortunately,
She
like,
so badly wants to be a mother. She so badly wants to know what it feels like to be pregnant and like give birth and all these things, and to nurse and to be that nurturing, loving person or woman. As a woman is, we're designed to do that. So yeah, it's devastating. And I think like her husband realizes this is why he's going along with it, because he's like, it's devastating. But you get to the point where like it's gone too far now, obviously, because the horror part of it, this thing starts eating the neighbors,
it
eating the
goes to.
dogs.
I mean, it could be like a part of the dangers where we enable family members,
Yeah,
like where we become the enabler and we kind of go along with their delusions. Like, yeah, it's a little
we're
bit of
all
a rough
guilty
one.
of it.
Yeah,
And out of love, we've all enabled people when we probably know we shouldn't
that's a
have,
great one.
because you think
And he said,
I'm caring for
yeah,
them, and that's a good
it's like
example.
I just want to bring them a little bit of happiness. I just want
Mhm.
to like them to feel better because we love them so, right? Like,
Yeah,
rough. That's a little bit of a rough one. And
it's rough.
Carlos is a fucking goofy ass character. He does a great fucking job. Like he looks like a little bit of a cartoon character, and he just looks like a goof with his fucking
Yeah,
glasses, and he does, he plays the part really, really well. And I love the kind of surreal aspect, especially in the beginning of the movie. It kind of loses it because once Little Otik comes into the movie, we kind of lose a little bit of that surrealness because Carl sees babies everywhere, and I just kind of love it. Like he's outside of the doctor's office and he's looking at the fish salesman, and he's just like taking babies out of the tank and he's wrapping them up in a newspaper, or he cuts the watermelon open and there's a baby inside because like he also wants something to love
mhm.
because she wants it. So yeah, that's yeah. I just wish there's a little bit more of that, but I guess like once we change like the narrative a little bit, like we don't there is no need for that part, I guess, and then we focus on the fucking great tree stump, which is funny because apparently this story, the fairy tale dates Pinocchio, like predates Pinocchio by like fucking years. So maybe like wouldn't like I see a world where like they remake Pinocchio, but like this, where it's just like
Yeah,
Pinocchio eats everybody.
a Pinocchio horror movie. They've done
We
like,
got
what have they
Minkle.
done? Like Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse, things like that. Like I could see that too. Pinocchio definitely has a way more horror elements to it.
We got Ming on the phone.
Oh look, we got
She said,
you guys. I'm so busy. Okay, thanks.
I love it. Wait, it's like, oh, you gotta go? You called us. Yeah, I love it. No, yeah. Can you imagine? Like, all right, let's reinvent this. You bring back Spockmeyer. You give him a budget. You do Pinocchio. Like, but of course, I feel like he'd be like too proud and be like, I don't need to remake this fucking
Yeah,
movie.
I don't think he would
I've
even
already,
take
I've
the
already made
American
this.
budget. Yeah, he's smoking. He's 90. He's like, I don't fucking need that shit.
Fucking eating that in tuna every day or some shit. Just like,
Yeah,
it's like, why would I do that?
yeah. What is this? The
But
Avengers? Off.
this one's kind of interesting how it kind of plays out. But then, all right, so this is what all right, so we're with the couple for the majority. The Borenza kind of like loses it. Like like you said, 0 to 100 immediately. She even sews like these fake like stomachs, right? So she can act like she's
Pregnancy
pregnant for nine
pillows.
months, pregnancy, and then she completely skips it. We're just like, no, it's like after like a month, she's just like, no, let's have this baby now, and Carl just kind of keeps going along with it. But then like after like it kind of like gets out of hand and he eats the mailman and then they put him in the basement, they kind of
Mhm.
fuck off for like a good part of the movie. Like if I remember correctly, like, and then it's Albeska for a good majority of it, who befriends Little Otik, and
Befriends it, and
she's the
then
one.
she starts feeding it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What the fuck?
What
Like
the fuck's
they just
that
kind of
about?
fucking yeah. What the fuck? They
Um,
just kind of disappear.
they do just kind of disappear, or like I think the mom or the wife, well, she's still trying to play this con game, with like now she's, because she like, brings out this like fake baby when she goes to the store and things like that. But then yeah, they do kind of fuck off for a while, and then the little girl befriends Otik in the basement and starts feeding him her, and you're right, I don't really know,
I was like,
other than, I mean, obviously the little girl is, I personally, like, my favorite character. Obviously this is misunderstood, but the one who um knows and is like kind of in the right the whole time.
yeah, a little bit. I mean, well, except for like she feeds him
Well,
like
she's a kid though. She's a kid.
it's a kid.
She's a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah. The
A lot of emphasis on like telling Odik not to eat the cabbage. It's cabbage, right?
yeah, it's like beautiful cat. Like it's just like this pristine
Beautiful, stunning
farmed
garden of
cabbage.
cabbage. that one of the neighbors works on and maintains. But then, of course, Otik obviously does because his hunger becomes so unsatiable because he eats a dog, eats does he eat another animal? And then he is the mailman's the first.
He eats their cat
He eats their
first.
cat, and then
Who?
does he eat a dog as well?
I'm not. I can't remember, but
Yeah,
he eats
maybe
their
not.
cat. Then I thought it was the mailman. She might
The
feed him a
mailman.
dog later. Yeah, which is like
Yeah,
that again, 0 to 100, and it's interesting how he eats because he doesn't swallow every. Apparently, he just like guess
sucks
like
it.
fleshes them. Like yeah, like
Yes,
he like sucks the bones off
sucks the
and
bones off, and that's part of that beautiful claymation. Like, because you get to see like human teeth in that in the midst of like when it's like doing its very unruly and unraveling sucks the meat and blood off of it, and then it's just bones. That's how this thing eats.
the director is very good at like that visceral aspect of
Mhm.
I guess human nature because like we all eat like that. Yeah, the no, but I wanted to go back to the whole thing where Baretska's like the whole time where she's playing up the con, and even before that when she's taking care of little Otik and she goes to the market,
Yeah.
she leaves the baby outside. Like, is that a Czech custom where like yeah,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna fuck with the baby because I'm just gonna park the baby outside because I'm not gonna bring it into the store. I mean, if they are that trusty in there, like that's amazing. That's fucking spectacular.
Talk about
I
like
wish I could. No. Actually, I don't wish. Like, no, you don't fucking know. Scared I am if I step away. If I'm with the Lord and I have to step away for a second, like I am like constantly on edge and constantly just checking on her, even though I might have left her in a crib where it's like 2 foot walls in there and she can't get out. But yeah, even then I'm still checking. Every night I check that she's breathing. You think I'm gonna leave the baby outside like to fucking fend for itself? It's gonna be cool. No.
no. But that's what, we talked about how like this movie doesn't feel like it was in 2000. That's part of like reasoning too, where you feel like that feels like a very like what 60s and 70s thing for someone to do, just to be like, I'm just gonna leave the baby out here for a sec. Let me run in and get the milk. But also to her, like, ma'am, you are trying to play up this con. You're just going to leave this kid out here where anyone can look, anyone could take a peek and see that this is a fake fucking baby, and you have like this weird little crying machine in there.
Well, even before then, when it's still Otik, like it's Abaska takes out the sock and it's got a root, which if that would have and it looks fucking creepy, like I would have fucking broken me, like that would have
I'd be
fucking.
like, what the fuck came out of you, lady?
It's not even but that's again like that's a tribute to the director where it's just like that would have been a horrific fucking thing to watch and that would have been a horrific fucking scene, but it just kind of played very naturally, like where she is horrified and she is scared. She's like, what the fuck's going on? But then again, everybody could have seen that you had a fucking log in your fucking cart.
Because what do you do? Because like I guess what you think about it is like you see this, you see it's a log. You go, this woman's delusional. How do you bring that up to a very like an unbarren, unstable, depressed woman being like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, that would have been
Like, how do
kind
you
of
have that
cool.
conversation?
That would have been a really cool kind of like a scene to play out like.
Like maybe the little girl's mom kind of noticing and being like, "Oh, this isn't right at all. Like we do need to step in and just sorry, you need to have that hard conversation and be like, you're not well."
And it kind of breaks
Like,
them, right? And you're just
yeah,
like,
very
oh,
compassionately be like, you're not well. You do need to find some help. Like, and that's not an easy conversation ever. And how do you even go about saying something like that? Especially a
yeah, like
kid. A
what the
kid
fuck
can't do
is?
that.
Yeah, no, it's not the responsibility of Beska's to do that because she's a child, and
Yeah.
it's one of
She's
those
just
things
like, this
where
is
yeah,
weird. I'm going to investigate. That's what she does.
and all she wants is a friend, and for some reason she's the only one wearing a uniform at fucking school because when she gets out of school and she comes across the cart at the store, she's like, it looks like she's wearing a uniform. It looks like a school uniform, the stockings, the jumper, and then she gets out of school and she's the only one dressed. And I'm just like, everybody's wearing normal clothes, like shirts, different color shirts, different color pants. It just kind of fucking threw me off for a little bit. But yeah, maybe it's just a way to make her stand out in the scenes. But no, then it's just kind of interesting how this is a fairy tale, and like usually fairy tales have a little bit of like morality in it, but there is no. This is just like a weird. I could sort of see being a metaphor for like be careful what you put your attention into and it becoming bigger than you and it taking over your life maybe.
Yeah.
But it's a weird way of putting it under the guise of like these childless parents, put their love into a stump and it became a real boy. I don't know.
It is
Tell me if you.
definitely a very interesting folklore like story. But it's a movie I remember, and even when I rewatched this movie like this morning, I was like, God, it's good though. It's
Pretty
long.
good.
I will give you it's long. It just like also because I've lived in Europe, so I don't know why. There's like a little bit of nostalgic there for me. Like just the way things look. And yeah, I don't know.
No, yeah, and like going back to the aesthetic and you're and like it being coming out in 2000s, like it came out in 2000s, but like how long did it actually take him to film everything and to do all the claymation? Maybe that was part of the thing. Like maybe it took him longer and longer to do, and that's why maybe in this movie it's a little bit more sparingly than some of his other movies. And we're just making conjectures at this point. But it being 2000 or it coming out in 2000, my point was being that it's really a late 90s movie. Like it's kind of like how all those cult classics of like the 60s and the 70s, like early 1980s movies are really like a product of late 1970s movies, right? Like we don't really get into like 1980s aesthetics until mid to late 80s, and then that's where it's at its height, right? So I was like, this is technically like a 1990s movie.
Yeah.
I wish I could riff on it more, but it's just kind of like it's,
I know it's one of those that isn't a lot. There's a lot of riffing, which is okay. It's okay for us to do those.
yeah, but but yeah, like I said, leaving, like being a parent now and like just anything with kids in it just kind of hits me differently.
Yeah.
They're like her leaving the cart outside. I was just like, I would never. And then I was watching this other thing recently. It was kind of like a spin-off of this movie called City of God from Brazil, but there's one called City of Men. It's like these kids actually grow up on this show, and it's like them growing up in like the slums of Rio de Janeiro, and they started when they were like 10, and I think it goes up until they're in their 20s. So they see these kids grow up on this TV show, and at one point one of them has a kid at 18, and he's a fucking shit. He's a fucking 18-year-old kid like I was at that time, and he forgets his fucking kid at the beach. Like he forgets his toddler. He goes to fucks out with his friends. He takes his
Yeah.
kid with him because his wife's at work, and then he gets caught up with his friends, and then he just like gets on a motorcycle and just fucking dips out, and his fucking baby's at the beach by himself. And I fucking just like had a gut
Yeah.
reaction, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, 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 I'm not dealing with this right now. And I fast forward to the thing just to make sure the fucking kid was all right.
Yeah.
Because I'm
You're
not
like,
having
I
a,
don't want to sit with this feeling.
I don't want to
Fuck
do,
that.
I don't want the anxiety. No, 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 no. There's a real baby crying on this show. No, no. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so you're bringing up that movie. What's that movie called, by the way? Do you remember?
That one was the
Oh,
movie City of Men,
City of
which is a
Men.
spinoff of City of God.
Okay. Have you ever heard or seen the movie Ratcatcher?
No, let's take a look.
So it's a Scottish film, and it's a film that I watched in college. So it's part of like when I was in film school, and this is one of them that we had to watch. And it's also about a kid, stars a kid, and he basically witnesses another kid in his apartment building die in the beginning of this film. And it just happened right outside of their apartment building. And then the rest of the film is just all like very fucking depressing. And it happens, and I think what part of Scotland? It's not Edinburgh, maybe Glasgow. And it's just a depressing movie from start to finish. So I don't know. When you were talking about that, that's what that reminded me of. It's a good movie. It's shot beautiful, but I think about it on probably a regular basis, but I don't want to watch it ever again.
Yeah, or it's like the sequel to The Shining, Doctor Sleep, where in the beginning, like Ewan McGregor's character kind of like leaves the baby with the mom, even though the mom like fucking passed out or choked in her sleep with choked on vomit in her sleep. And then he doesn't want to be a fucking accomplice to anything so he doesn't want to call the cops or anything. So he just leaves and he's like, somebody will come by. And then he's traumatized because he's pretty sure that baby died. Or no, he
Yeah.
does know that baby died because he sees ghosts, so he's haunted by the ghost of the baby. And I'm just like, nope, I don't need that. It's not something I need in my films. I don't
Yeah.
need any. I'm here to disassociate, to
Right.
be in a world of fantasy for a little bit. I don't need any of those real life settings of possibly children being hurt in any fucking regard, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately a real thing that does happen, but yeah, you're like, "No, I'm here to just decompress, and that's not what I wanna watch."
It's very compressing me. It's compressing me very much right now.
Like, God, just, like, walk
Yeah.
away feeling shitty, and you're like, "God, now I just feel shitty."
Yeah, I can't even remember. Is there a scene in Train Spotting with the baby on the ceiling? I don't
Fuck
know if
that
he
movie. Yeah.
was he just hallucinating, or was that like baby having to do with something with like another character? I can't remember.
It's
Yeah.
been a
But
while,
it's
but
but memorable scene regardless.
it's almost like or even movies like Requiem for a Dream, where you watch it and you're like, "I don't ever wanna watch that ever again." Like, it's
No,
a great
no.
movie, but I'm just like,
I'm good on
"Never
it.
again. I'm
Yeah, you
good."
don't see. Yeah, yeah. They're not replaying Requiem for a Dream on TBS every fucking weekend. Like
No. You
just
see it
so
once and you're like, "Fuck."
we the the one that gets to me the most is the mom in that one.
It's
That fucking hit me hard.
yeah.
So yeah, so yeah.
It's if you wanna feel awful, yeah, if you willingly want to feel awful, go watch Requiem for a Dream.
There you go. And you don't get any of that in Little Otik. So like, yeah, go
No,
watch Little
there like
Otik
you're
too.
saying,
Like,
like, Little Otik, like, there is a heartwarmingness to it. It's funny in parts of it. Carl, like you said, is a bit of a cartoon character. He has there is humor in it. And
yeah,
like I said at the beginning,
maybe
like, the real horror is the grief and the enabling and the you want to love someone so well that you in fact you're actually hurting them.
that's a good
So
sum up. I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm just gonna leave that right there. I'm not gonna touch that one, Courtney. Very well put. And go check out other of Zach Meyer's like other work, because like
yes,
you could
Alice in
easily,
Wonderland.
yeah, Faust and Dimensions of Dialogue. I haven't seen any of his other stuff. I should probably check it out to see how much animation is in all the other ones as well.
But this actually brought up for let me just throw this out here for maybe our next episode, the movie Darkness Falls. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
We're
mentioned the
talking.
Tooth Fairy, and that one I feel like had Tooth Fairy. It was the Tooth Fairy, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was like, I think that's like, I think everybody got disappointed when they were like, Tooth Fairy. They're like, what
Tooth
the fuck?
Fairy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been years. I know I've seen it, but it's been years,
Yeah,
so I
let's
have
do it. We're
no
gonna
idea.
go. Yeah, we did our two artsy child
There we go.
related movies for the summer, and we have been
Yeah.
taking a break, guys. So it's been hard for us to keep up with life and everything. And Courtney's had some schedule changes, and I've been a little bit busy, but we're gonna get back into it. So yeah, we could definitely do Darkness Falls.
Bring some more laughs. Bring some more
Yeah,
laughs. I'm
I
sure
think I had
that one
another
we
one.
could riff on like crazy.
Yeah, that would be a good one. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's my new app.
They're new out.
Just like, All right.